There you have it. The FTMO trial passed in 5 days using the silver bullet strategy that I have discussed on this channel. I told you I was going to do it, and I have now done it. Next step is going to be the challenge. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Blue Edge Financial, where we make trading educational but also fun. In today's video, I'm going to go over all my trades that basically got me to passing the FTMO trial. Now, most of the trades I was only able to capture screenshots because I didn't have time to get in and record every single day, but I did record the final trade from the start to the finish, the trade that got us over the line. So if you want to see that, make sure you stick around till the very end of the video, where I will go over that whole trade and you will see us getting over the finish line and actually crossing the mark. You can see over here by the screen I am looking at, 5,071. We've passed the trial. Now, I didn't take it towards the end of the year because I don't like trading in December, and that's why it's taken a little bit longer to actually take this trial. And in this trial, it was all silver bullet. I did trade a few different pairs, but don't worry, it's pairs that I have tested, I've back tested. I know you have all seen me only do Euro USD, but I have back tested NAS 100, I've back tested GBP USD and a few others. So all of the pairs that you're going to see me trade today, I have back tested, and I would suggest you do the same. So with that being said, let's quickly go through the analytics over here, the metrics on my dashboard, so you can see what happened the first day, which was, I think it was if we go back, you can see over here was the 9th of Jan. Okay, the 9th of Jan, we took a loss. We took a 2,000 because I'm risking 2%. And I mentioned this when I was showing you the video about taking the FTMO trial with the silver bullet strategy that I use. 2,000 per trade, so you can see that's very clear. 2,000 loss, took a hit the first day. Second day came back with a nice winner, and then these little ones over here were actually just I was doing an explanation in another video. It's actually the video I've just done where I'm talking about how to start Forex trading as a beginner, and I just did a little demonstration in that, and I used this account, and that's why you can see these very small lots. So don't worry about that. Took another loss on the 11th, and then I decided, because there was a really good setup, I actually decided to go in again. Now, most of the time I would say don't do that, but because I knew that there's only 2 weeks on that, I was going a little bit more aggressive, and I ended up winning the second one. If I lost 2 in a row, I was prepared to lose that 4%, and obviously then I would not trade again because I only have a 5% maximum daily drawdown, and obviously you don't want to hit that. And then the next day, I actually scaled in with this one. So I was trying a few different things. I was sticking to my plan, but I was doing some different things within my strategy. So this one, there was 2 fair value gaps, and I took the first one, which was a little bit higher than I like, and then it actually kept pushing down, and I actually decided to enter in on the second one again. So again, I was risking more than I would normally on just the 2% per day. But like I said, I was aware of the time frame, and I just wanted to get this challenge done, but I was still aware of my maximum daily drawdown. So, you know, even if I went in with 2 trades at 2%, that's 4%, I'm still okay. I can play that as long as you understand your risk and you maintain, you know, that you stay within that maximum drawdown. And I knew that I would still be in that, but I was confident in this trade. This was the thing. So you can see it came back down. This one over here was the lower one. It tapped in, pushed further up, and as soon as it got above the higher FVG, I just closed on both of them with about 1,000, what is that, 1,800, close to 1,900 profit. And then the final day, this one over here, this is the one that I actually recorded, and I will show you that. So with that being said, let's just go over to some of the screenshots quickly. And this is what I was trying to do, is take a screenshot of the before, then take a screenshot of my actual position and why I decided to do that. Sometimes I was able to get the screenshots of my entry and everything as well, but in terms of time, I couldn't do that every day. So the reason I was looking at this on this day, this was the day I lost. So you can see we actually took out this area of liquidity over here. You can see on the top there, we tapped into that area on the 5 minute, and then I would have switched down to the 1 minute. So I think I did switch down to the 1 minute, and on the 5 minute, there wasn't really anything that clean. So what I ended up doing is going to the 15 minute and looking at that. And this ended up tapping in nicely. Now, the thing with this trade, the thing that, don't worry about this one. This was only on TradingView, but this is the one I entered on. This actually went further than my 1 to 0.75, where I would normally close 75%, but I had to step out. And for some reason, the calculator or the risk bot that I use on MT5 is not doing that automatically. So I've got to try and figure that out. So for the most part, I have to be in front of the screen when that happens. So I have to figure that out, because this actually would not have been a loss, and I probably would have passed the challenge sooner, but it is what it is. I took the loss. Let me just see what the next one shows. Okay, here we go. So this was actually the trade, and you can see right over here, I was actually 1,500 in profit. And I think it was just after this I walked away. I was waiting for it to get to about 1718, 2000 to close 75% of the position. I walked away. I had to do something, and I ended up actually losing this trade. It turned around on me. Let me see. Do I have another screenshot of this one? So I was very close to closing it, but I ended up not closing it because, like I said, I had to step away. So that ended up actually being the loser, which sucks, because it should have actually been a 0.75 profit and then hitting the stop. So we should have still taken some money on that, but it is what it is. We took the loss there. Now this was the one on the 10th. This was the one where we came back with I think it was about 3,000 profit. You can see we got in there, we went up, and I think I left this one. And I pulled my take profit just to the top over here, instead of closing that 0.75, because I wanted to make back my loss from the previous day. So I traded it a little bit more risky. I was quite confident of the price coming up to that and tapping into that, but we ended up closing it about just on this order block around over there. I think that's where I pulled my take profit down to, and like you saw on the metrics, which we'll go and have a look at it again, I hit about 3,000. So we made back the previous day's loss, which was good. So let's have a look. What's next? We go to the 11th of Jan. So this is what I was looking at before. You can see coming into the 930, which is the pale bar over there. The green is the actual 10 to 11. So we hadn't really hit anything. I was waiting for this low to get broken to start looking for some change of direction, change of character on the 1 minute. So let's see what happened next. There you can see we hit that low, which is exactly what we're looking for. We broke that low. We straight away had a turnaround. Let's see, did we actually get anything? Make sure this is still the same day. This is the 11th, and there you can see the perfect setup. We have a take of that low, we have a turnaround. That was the high I was looking at getting broken, broke that high. We had a perfect order block setup, and then we did get into that trade. Let's have a look. The 11th. Yes, so the 11th, we did end up getting in. I can see there's a recording here. So let me just quickly go through that and see if we got anything on that recording. So we did tap in there. You can see we tapped in over there, and we got to there. We were on about 1,900. So I think with these, I was playing them a little bit more aggressively. I was looking for them to get to around 1 to 1 to look at potentially closing the 0.75 or just closing the trade out. And with this one on the 11th, what did we end up getting? We ended up getting 2.4. So we might actually have closed the 0.75. I can't really remember, but this was it playing out. This is actually the live trade. And no, this must have been after the loss. Was this after the loss? Because we had gone down to 98. So this must have been, let me have a look. Yeah, so we did take a loss on the 11th. So I think I ended up taking 2 trades on the 11th. We took the loss. I might not have got the screenshot for the one before. So maybe that's why. So this is the trade. So this was actually the later trade. So I'd already taken a loss before. Yeah, you can see my balance over here was 100,991. Hadn't entered into that. So I think this is where we took the loss, and we went back down to 98. 827. Then we got into this trade, which was the second of the day, and I was happy to take 2 trades a day because, like I said to you, I was going a little bit riskier. I was pushing it a bit because I was looking at the time frame only having 2 weeks, so I was pushing it a little bit more, and this one we did end up winning, and I think we took the 2000. Yeah, there we go. So I ended up just closing the whole trade at 2,460. I think essentially what I wanted to do is make back my loss and then just get a little bit on top of that. Okay, so let's now go to the 12th of Jan, which is the second last trade. Now let's have a look at what we did there. This is the one I think I scaled in on. So let's have a look. So you can see here, this is, I think it was actually on the 5 minute that I scaled in on. So the first trade was over here. I think I was looking at this fair value gap over there after the break of that high. And then the second one was that. So both of them I ended up having so this one had quite a big stop and the second one had a smaller stop, and I was looking for the tops there. Okay, this is the one I scaled into, and I scaled into the first one just because I was worried that it was going to tap in and turn around and leave without me. So that's why I entered into the first one. Now I think the next one shows you the 5 minute. Yes, it does. So you can see here, you can see I scaled in on this order block rather than the fair value gap on the 5 minute. So on the 5 minute, you had this order block, but then if I go back to the 1 minute, there's actually also, you can see where I got in there, there's a small fair value gap. So there was a fair value gap on the 1 minute, which kind of lined up with the order block on the 5 minutes. So that was my first trade. I was worried it was going to tap and go, but I actually kept pushing further down. So on the 1 minute, I think I then went for this fair value gap here, which was the one that caused the break. You can see it is only the body break, but this fair value gap over here had already been tapped into. So I was looking at this fair value gap over there. Now the other one, there was a very small fair value gap over there, but I didn't really want to risk again it leaving without me. So it was only once it started pushing down that I decided to enter into another one, because this one I'd already given myself the stop all the way to there. So I entered in on the second and it paid out. You can see just after it went above there, that's when I closed, and you can see that I got the 2000 no, sorry, the 360 and the 1526. Okay, so with that being said, let's now go over to the actual recording of the final trade, and I actually recorded that all at the time. So I'm now going to jump over to that recording, and then I'll jump back and we can talk about that. Guys, we are jumping on quickly for a live trade, and nothing happened yet, but I thought I would try and record the whole trade for you. It will be the final trade for this, hopefully the final trade, because we are very close. So let me see if I can quickly jump on to show you. So this is where we are. You can see we are on 103,000, so I just need 2,000 to make, and considering I'm risking 2,000, that's only 1-to-1 of a move. Now as you can see, I've already got pending orders in there for the US 100, and let me go back and show you why that is. So I've been looking around all the pairs with Euro USD and GBP USD, very similar. I am essentially waiting for these lows to be broken. So that first low was broken, but you can see that one was not. So we essentially have a double bottom there. So for me, I'd like to see that get broken first, but this does seem to be moving off. You can see it did tap into what I was looking at, and it actually would have been a good trade. We would have already been in that trade, but I thought because it was quite a small fair value gap, I kind of left it alone. So I'd like to see more of a move, to be honest. And we had that breakdown, we had that breakup, we did have a fair value gap. So it was a valid trade. And then on Euro USD, we haven't really had a strong break on the 5 minute of those lows. You can see we have a low there, so I'd like to see this come down and break those lows, or even these highs up there. But on NAS 100, you can see that we had that area of liquidity right over there. It was a strong tap with a wick, a very big wick, and then we pushed back up. And if you look at that on the 1 minute, it'll probably fall into where we want to trade it anyway. It's within our window. The break happened after 9:30, the break of that low. So still a valid trade and something that I'm looking at. and we're going to see if we can get into that trade, and hopefully we can get our 2 grand fairly quickly if price decides to move like that. A 1-to-1 is about there, so that's kind of what we'd be looking at. 2 grand roughly over there. So it's about that first high there, to be honest. So it could happen. Hopefully it will happen quite quickly. But GBP USD, it's unfortunate. That was actually a good trade. Is it actually going in? Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one there, because it would have come down. It would have actually pushed quite far into the negative, but it never dropped lower than that low. So that low did hold. And if we were, let me just put a position on here so you can see what I was looking at. It would have been something like that. I would have given myself a little bit extra, and I would have currently already hit that 1-to-1 or 1 to 0.75, and I would have probably been targeting this high over here. But I wouldn't need all of that, because I would have just needed a 1-to-1 to basically get to the 5k, which is the target on the trial. I kind of was not that happy. There was a slight fair value gap there, also an order block. So I mean, you know, it probably was a good trade, but we didn't take that. We're looking at the NAS. So this could still come and tap into our low there and then push up. As you can see on the 5-minute, it was a really nice wick through the liquidity zone. And it's going to tap that. I'm hoping push up, try grab some more liquidity high side here, and then do its final kind of push down. So that's what I'm looking at. Let's see if this will actually play out. We're in that trade. Now we just got to hope that we actually go the right direction. We kick back up. We tapped in nicely there. We got to hope that we can actually kick up and get that couple grand for the win. So hopefully we can catch this live for you, and hopefully this will be it. It is pushing down very hard at the moment, but I'm hoping that it's just like a final push before we go back up, and let's see how this plays out. Watch it over here for a bit cleaner as well. I want to go to the 1 minute actually. Okay, yeah, that's a strong candle. So let's hope it is just the last push attempt, filling up that fair value gap and then going back in our direction. Still keep looking at the other pairs as well. Euro USD. So that actually now has gone down and broken. Let's see what that looks like on the 5 minute. So you can see there we have had a break there, which is actually really cool and works with our whole strategy as well. So now essentially what we'd be looking for is we would be looking for a break of this over here. Let me just mark this for you. We'd be looking for a break of that. Let's see what it looks like on GBP USD. We would have also had a strong push down, so maybe that entry of mine wouldn't have been that good, but I mean, it's still valid, and we would have already walked away with our 1-to-1, which was actually what we needed for this setup. So I probably won't be looking for the 0.75 just because I need that 1-to-1 to take the 2 grand. This is pushing down really strong, but I'm hoping it doesn't push down any further. I'm hoping that wick there is kind of like its resistance, and I hope we do have a bit of a turnaround now. But let's keep looking at the Euro USD as well. I mean, I'm happy to go quite aggressive now. Happy to go and get my 2 grand. Because the thing with the trial is that, and I probably mentioned this in the first part of the video, the trial, you have 2 weeks to get that 5%. Now, because of that, you want to, you know, you've got to be a bit more aggressive. I wouldn't be this aggressive on the actual challenge because challenge actually gives you unlimited time. So I wouldn't have to be this aggressive. The only reason I would go this aggressive on trial is because of time, and also to prove that, you know, sometimes you can go aggressive. Even if I were to take 2 trades, yeah, I'm risking 4%, but I'm not going to lose the daily drawdown. I will just have a big knockback. Okay, we had a nice big push up there. So we did come back into the green. I'm hoping this is the start. So you can see that blue candle was almost as strong as the previous 2 orange candles. So I'm hoping that's a good thing. I'm hoping this is a sign that we are looking at turning around now. So let's hope that is the case. Okay, $700. It is pushing the way we want it to go now. What does our balance look like? We're just shy of 4 grand. So we just wanted to keep pushing in that direction. It is bouncing around a bit. I'd like it to kind of push up aggressively to the upside, but let's see. We could do the 0.75. We could do that, but let's see first. So we're sitting on 4,000 profit there at the moment, total, not on today's trade. So pushing up nicely. We just need a couple grand with this one. If this can keep pushing up high like it is, you know, I like the price action because it did kind of push down and then push up. But if it does keep dancing around like this, I might just take my 75% at 0.75 and then just let it play out, because that would still get me my 2 grand. I would have to go all the way to the take profit, but I would still potentially get my 2 grand and still pass the challenge. So we'll see which way we're going to play it. If it turns around and it starts moving nice and strong, then maybe we will do that. Otherwise, we might have to manage this one. Euro USD, what is it doing? Hasn't really given an entry anyway, because we'd have to break that high anyway. Right, I'm just going to pause it there, and because I've got some other things I need to quickly do, I'm going to pause this, and as soon as there's some action on this, either way, I will come back and let you know where we are. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, we are back, and as you can see, we are having a strong push up over here. We could potentially even get to, hopefully, if this keeps pushing up, we can get the 105,000. Let's have a look. We're gonna just keep pushing up, and then we close it. I mean, it's looking good. It's looking good. I just want to get to the 105,000, maybe a little change, so we can secure the pass with the trial. So this is the first trial I've taken using the Silver Bullet strategy, and I have traded US 100, I've traded Euro USD, and I think I've also traded GBP USD. So I have tested all of those. The tests you've seen me do mostly are Euro USD, but I have in the background also tested. Oh, we hit 1,500 there. There we go. There we go. $105,071. I was a little bit worried to close that because my face for the video is right on top of the actual profit. So I took a risk closing it there, but I knew it was about 2,000. Hit the 2,000, took our profit, and just like that, we have hit our target. So yeah, trial done. Sorry, this one took a little bit of time, but you know, it came up to December when I was initially looking at doing it. And obviously in December, I didn't really want to trade because the markets are not as good to trade in December. That's my opinion anyway. So there we go. Let me just show you quickly the history. So there you can see the history. We've had a good few days. We've traded Euro, USD, GBP, USD, and US 100. You can see, I think we'll double check this in the actual back end of the FTMO trial account. You can see our first day we took a loss. And then you can see risking the 2%. We took 2 losses. Everything else has been wins. And in fact, there was one day that I scaled in, which I've never done. I thought, let me try. It was a small scale in. I mean, a small amount. I knew it was probably going to push down. So it pushed down. I scaled in. And then we got a nice trade. And I think I took screenshots of all of that, which I might have already shown you. So hopefully you see that. But that's it. That is all the history there. I think we took, I'll double check on the number of trades on the FTMO backend where we check our analytics. But yeah, it's done. We passed. There we go. Beautiful. We've passed the FTMO trial. I know it's only 5%, but that's proof that it's working and I could potentially, and I did this in, I think it was about a week and maybe a little bit, but we'll double check right now. So we are going to go over and check that on the thing. I might look a little bit different. I might be a little bit cleaner, might be shaved a bit because this was all just like on the fly, jump on, get a trade. But when I next see you, it'll be actually going over the analytics of the FTMO. So I will see you in a bit. There we go. I told you I would be shaved. Didn't lie to you. Much cleaner. All right, so let's jump back into the metrics quickly. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that live trade. It worked out nicely. I'm glad I caught the whole trade from beginning to end. I cut a little bit here and there, otherwise it would have been a very long video, but I hope you got the gist of the trade and you saw why I took the trade. There was basically all of the trades worked out. All 3 of the trades I was looking at worked out. The Euro USD actually came within, I would say, about 5 pips of the stop, turned around, and still each of them would have given me at least my 1 to 0.75. So all of them were good trades. So it actually doesn't matter which trade I took. I think I probably would have passed the challenge regardless. So there you have it, guys. Challenge done. Let's just look at some of the stats quickly. So here we go. Average profit, you can see there's 1.5. Average loss is 1.3. I think the reason for that is I had some days that I took 2 trades. So maybe that's why it's not giving the 2, because the only 2 losses I took were both 2,000. So that's fine. Average risk to reward is 1 to 1. 9 trades total. Lots, I know that looks very scary, 505, but like I said, I did go very aggressive, and the expectancy 563. Profit factor 2.21, which is really good. Happy with that. 66% win rate. Now, if you remember my back test, the back test where I did 100 trades for you, I was there or thereabouts. It was around 60-65%. I can't remember exactly. And yeah, so you know, kind of even in the live market, it's around my my same sort of win rate. And the cool thing about the live market, which I hope you saw in this, is, you know, I can make decisions in the live market based on everything I'm seeing, because as I'm going from chart to chart, I'm seeing how the each pair is moving, and I can make decisions. So I'm always sticking within my strategy's rules, but you know, I make decisions based on what I'm seeing. So you know, some days I might trade it slightly different, but the main thing is it's always within my rules. I don't go outside of my rules. My entry is always the same. I changed the rule in terms of my exit. I wasn't really taking the 0.75. I wasn't doing that just because I was going a little bit more aggressive. But if I am trading this on the challenge, which is unlimited, then I definitely will stick to that. I hope you enjoyed that live trade. I would love to do more of that for you. So do let me know if you want to see more of that. I am thinking about taking the challenge, like I said. So hopefully that'll be following, and I will get to an actual funded account using the Silver Bullet. That would be amazing. If you guys are watching this and you are not too sure about what I'm trading, what is the strategy, and you haven't watched the videos from before, make sure you go watch my Silver Bullet strategy videos. I've done a few of them, and they've kind of changed slightly over time, not a whole lot. At the basis and how I actually trade them is the same as the Silver Bullet, but how I'm entering, how I'm taking profit, etc., is slightly different. It's kind of tweaked slightly. And I did do a back test recently, which is a longer video. So if you've got the time, go and have a look at that. And you'll see how I back tested. I think it was close to 100 trades. It wasn't quite 100 trades. I got as close as I could, but I ran out of data. So go check that out if you haven't. I'll actually post that at the end of the video, which is now, unfortunately. Thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you did enjoy this. Let me know if you want to see more of this. You want to see the challenge, let me know in the comments down below. And please do like and subscribe to the channel so you can catch more of this kind of content. That's it from me, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.